God warns the enemy is stealing your miracle. Don't skip this, because part of your story is missing, and it might be costing you dearly. Listen up, chosen one. You just woke up to something deep inside you, and tonight God is giving you a heads up. Watch out, because what He put in you is no longer sleeping. It's wide awake, it is working. You might waste it if you don't know what's stirring inside you right now. You might let it go. You might give it to the wrong people, places, or fights. That's why heaven stopped everything to send you this message. You're not just here by accident. You were led to this very moment by a higher power. Don't move. He put something inside you long before you could talk about it. It just came to life. It's because the seed that was once quiet is now fully on, with no dimming, delay, or safety switch. This is why your chest feels strange, your prayers feel heavier than usual, and little things keep stirring up something big inside you. What God is telling you now isn't a reason to party yet. A holy, loving, and important warning that should only be heard by those who are ready to hear it. You're reading this because God has faith in you to handle what He's about to do. So, pay close attention. Don't scroll anymore. Don't do anything else. If you have other people with you, this isn't for them. Keep the noise out, stop and take a deep breath. The next few minutes will change you in a way that has been waiting for you to understand since the day you were born. There are a lot of chosen ones who never know when the seed inside them woke up. People feel rushed and name it worry. They feel tired because of the heat. They feel the weight and call it sadness. They feel a pull that they name restlessness. They are sitting on a fully charged gift and chasing shadows with its power. They're thinking too much while using its flow. They are arguing with people who don't matter about its vibe. That's no longer going to happen to you, God. Not today. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community, through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water. For those in our community seeking healing and hope, give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. There is a lot inside you right now. I don't do it for fun. It's not a side skill. It's not just something about you. It's a real deposit. They were put there by hands that knew what they were doing. It's now too big to hide. The case is now warmer. The seal is broken. The seed is now fully open. That's why God wants you to slow down and really look at what you have in your hands right now. Before you take another step, before you talk in your next chat, before you say yes to the next chance. Something doesn't feel the same. You can tell this time is different from the last. You feel like the prayers you say now are stronger than the ones you said 6 months ago. You can feel how your words hit different places. How people respond to you changes. When you walk into a room, it feels different. You're not sure if you're telling the truth or not. It's not a lie. This is what God is saying today. Things got stronger for you. The presence inside you grew stronger. Your fire grew stronger. God wants you to know that you haven't been losing strength, even if you're tired or your chest feels both empty and full. It's been getting better. The last few times you went through things that didn't drain you. It got worse over time. It was pressure that broke the seed open. So everything that felt like a loss worked. Today the seed is open. The fruit is getting bigger and the energy is moving. You need to decide what to do with it before it does things on its own. Being careful is something that only awake people can understand and pay attention to when they are carrying something important. The careless ones give their gift to people who don't deserve it. The careless ones argue about their gift in online chats and comments that they weren't supposed to be in. Those who aren't careful tie their gift to plans that God didn't like. People who aren't careful bury their gift again out of fear. Today, God is calling you out of all those traps because you are careful. You have been picked and chosen. Ones who were just turned on can't be careless anymore. If you are a child of God, listen to me. You have been feeling watched lately, but it's not because of enemies. It's because of the great cloud of witnesses, the people who came before you and finished the race you are now running. In heaven, they are leaned forward. What you do with this awakening is being watched. They are praying that you won't waste this gift. Feel proud of their attention, not weighed down by it. This is something other people feel too. You're not the first person to carry it. You are the next person to let it out. Pay attention to the little things. Like what you say first thing in the morning. What you look at last thing at night. Who you spend the most productive time with. And whose voice speaks to your spirit last before you go to sleep. Everything changes the seed. All of it is carried by the current. All of it gets stronger because of the frequency. Things that were just fine before will now be huge. Things that were little before will now grow very quickly. It will only take weeks to do what used to take years. Things that used to take a long time will now be done quickly. So he's whispering, be careful. Because making quick progress without knowing what you're doing is the worst gift in heaven. That being said, please bear with me for a moment as I teach you how to recognize what woke up, protect it, feed it, lead it, and stop it from leaking out through holes you didn't even know you had. You will feel different about what's inside you by the end of this message. You will not treat it the same way. You'll talk about it in a different way. It will change how you move with it. As you carry new energy, the space around you will begin to align with it. It's not a guess. God is promising that to you right now. Take it all in. There's a quieter question that lies beneath the question of what turned on. A question that most chosen people never get to say out loud. The question is, what is inside of me, and how it got there? Today, God wants you to know the answer. Not in general terms or flowery language, but in heavy, real truth that sinks into your bones. Because you stop being afraid of what's inside you once you know it. It starts to help you instead of hurt you. As soon as you stop being afraid of it, what was put inside you wasn't a mistake. It was picked. God looked back through time to find the right person to plant the seed He had planned for this time. He chose your family tree. He picked the time. He chose where you would be. He knew just what kind of pressure would break the seed open at the right time. It wasn't all by chance. You were not just born into that family. You were not put in that country by chance. The hurts you went through as a child were not random. You didn't have a random urge when you were a teenager, that no one else did either. It wasn't by chance that some stories made you cry and others didn't. It wasn't by chance that you've always been able to sense things before they happened. It was all God getting the ground ready for the seed to be planted. Many people in your family have no idea what you carry. People who just looked at you and didn't care about you. Your friends and family called you strange, dreamy, too sensitive, too much, not enough, or the one who never quite fit. They didn't have the right eyes open. They would not have been able to see it. Because they weren't supposed to see what's inside you. It was supposed to be locked up, hidden, and kept safe until the right time. And now is the right time. The seal is being broken by God. As He takes off the lamp's cover, He's telling the space around you to make room for the light that has been waiting. You will read parts of the Bible that you have read 100 times, but they will feel fresh, like they were written just for you. Things in songs that you've heard 1,000 times will start to grab you now. They will stop you in the middle of the road. They'll make you cry in places you didn't know they did. What people say will start to sound different to you. It only takes one word from a stranger, one comment from a coworker, or a simple comment from a child to hit you like a sermon. Because the awakened seed inside you is picking up signals on a frequency that no one else can tune into unless you invite them to. That's what your seed has today. From the inside, this is what it looks like for a chosen one to wake up. It's not exciting like in movies. It's not noisy. It's inside. It stays the same. It's clear. Someone slowly opened a door that was always there. The door doesn't open all the way. The door opens wide. You as God saw you before you were born is on the other side of the door. That version can now come out, talk, act, lead, write, build, help others heal, and be seen. There's more going on beneath this teaching. The truth that most chosen ones don't know is this. I didn't just plant the seed in you. You were given a release date and told to plant it. It was never your choice when the movie came out. It was His. When He buried the seed, He set the timer. He set up the way the pressure would break it open. He picked this week, this day, and this hour to turn you on full blast. And the strange things going on around you right now are because heaven is getting ready for what's to come. This is why God is saying, be careful. It's not because He doesn't trust you. He has faith in you. You were the one He chose because He knew you could handle the weight. The weight is real though. The power is real. This is a real intensity. And being careless now costs more than it ever did. A careless word in a quiet place is just a word. When you're awake, a careless word is a promise. A careless deal made while things were sleeping is just a deal. In a switched on time, a careless agreement is a seal that must be kept. You will now feel bad when you do the same things that used to make no difference to you. The agreements you used to make without much thought will now bind you to certain outcomes. You used to say prayers without giving them much thought, but now they will make things happen. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you bless. Be careful what you swear at. When you wake up inside, something powerful will boost everything you do from now on. Be careful what you let into your home. You may have already seen this boosting. It's possible that you said something casually not long ago, and then saw it happen faster than it should have. You may have prayed for something short, and seen it come true in a few days. Someone you may have warned about something may have seen it come true in just 1 week. You may have brought peace to a noisy place, and seen the chaos go away. You may have prayed for someone who was sick, and seen their condition get better. You may have walked into a room, and seen the mood change just by being there. It's not an accident. There are confirmations here. By letting it move things around you, God shows you what's inside you. He's not trying to test you. It's like how a dad shows his kid that their hands are getting stronger by giving them little things to lift first. What you do with this information will affect not only the next month or year, but also the next 10 years. The next 10 years of your life will depend on how you handle the first few months of being fully awake. That's right. Today is a big day. It's not a small message. Because He loves you, God is being careful with you. He's going into great detail with you. Because the next part of your story needs it. Taking extra care with you, because what He put inside you is valuable, and valuable things need extra care from you, Him, heaven, and all the layers of protection He's putting around the gift right now. Before we go any further, I need to tell you something. Something that God wanted to be said straight out, without any ambiguity, or attempts to sound better, in order to sell something. You should hear what's coming next right away. Some of you who are reading this have had this awakening for longer than you thought. You could feel the heat. You felt how strong it was. You felt the odd, clear times that come and go. There are times when you become more aware when you walk into a room. You felt how prayer has changed in your mouth. And you've been looking for a way to steady what you're carrying. A way to keep the energy clean. A way to keep the channel open without getting burned out. A certain sound has been kept secret for generations, just for this moment. Before there were tools to measure brainwaves, and words like gamma, alpha, and frequency were used in everyday speech. Spiritual groups built stone rooms to shape sound around the body. They knew how certain sound structures could make an adult feel like a child again. It was easy for them to wake up when school was over. They kept it safe by singing. For many years they kept it safe. And in this generation, a modern listener, whose name isn't important, turned away from the noise of everyday research to find what the ancient people had brought. He found the building. He changed the sound to fit our ears now. It's called the Genius Song, and people listen to it every day through headphones with their eyes closed. Not anything else. Not a hard thing. Not too much. Not anything exciting. Just the frequency that the ancients kept safe, coming back to the ear of a modern-day chosen one. Another sound comes from a different tradition and a different continent. It has been passed from mouth to ear, teacher to student, and temple to temple without stopping for 300 years. It was the wise people of the Vedas who tuned a sound and put a 9-word script with it. Each sound had a different frequency, channel, or way to receive it. People in the past called it many things. Number 10. These days, we call it alpha. Another person from this generation heard what was still being carried. He made a new version for today's ears. It is called the wealth signal, and it is a 5-minute audio file that is played through headphones every day with the 9-word script. Not anything else, not a hard thing. For the awakening you're going through, these two tools are the easiest ones God has given us this generation. That's why I'm telling you about them now. The first comment and the description below will show you how to do both. You should only check them out if you feel good about it. If not, this message is enough. A video is one of the many gifts God gives. They won't come up again until a long time later. Let's go back to what your spirit came here to hear for now. You didn't find this teaching by accident. The hand that led you there also planted the seed before you even knew there was a seed. The gift is fully on, and it needs someone to care for it. The person who cares for it needs to know exactly what they're carrying before they can carry it well. God wants you to understand 5 things about what's going on inside you right now. You will never live the same way again after hearing these 5 truths. The very first truth is the most important. You had what's inside you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. God wants you to let go of the idea that you got your gift when you were a child, a teen, or after a big spiritual event. The gift didn't start at any of those times. There were times like those that turned it on even more. On the other hand, the seed is older than your body. God planted the seed when He picked your spirit out of all the others that could have come to earth. The Lord saw that the world was going through a hard decade, and that darkness was showing up in many places. He then said, "This one, this particular spirit with this particular calling, this particular makeup, this is who I am sending into the gap that will open up during this hour." Before you had hands, you had a purpose. You had a certain energy before you had a name. Before you could remember things, you had instructions that were a part of who you are. The second truth is that you don't own the gift. You borrowed the gift. God owns it, and you have it in your hands. This is a truth that chosen ones find very hard to accept. You think of your skills, dreams, and potential as your own, because society has taught you to do so. God isn't going against what most people think to make you feel bad. He is making society right so that you can be free. The stress changes when you know the gift is on loan. You don't have to perform with it anymore. You don't have to make money from everything anymore. You don't need to defend it anymore. You don't need to explain it anymore. Just take care of it. You don't have to own it to take care of it. It's freer to take care of something than to own it. It is smarter to take care of something than to own it. The ones who aren't paying attention think the gift is theirs. It wears them down to try to make it work. Smart people know that the gift is his. In essence, they just show up and watch him work. The third fact: the gift is bigger than where you are now. You're still not at the end goal. You've reached an early stop. Things that are on now will need more room in the future. Rooms that are bigger mean better relationships, bigger platforms, and more resources. God will slowly make you bigger so you don't break. You shouldn't try to make the gift fit your current needs. Try not to fit this awakening into the job you've always had, the friends you've always had, or the conversations you've always had. The gift won't give up. It's going to push back. There will be no more sound. God wants you to make room, get rid of things, and build wider walls. Because what you're going through won't fit through the door you used to use. The door needs to turn into a gate. The room needs to be turned into a hall. The hall should be turned into a courtyard. The courtyard should be turned into a field. The field needs to turn into a kingdom. That's the way a fully awakened seed should go. The fourth fact: two types of people will be interested in the gift at the same time. Honor from heaven and opposition from forces that don't want what you carry to be made public. Both show up at the same time. Some of the watching you feel is there to help. Some of it is interference. God will teach you how to tell them apart. He will help you understand. He'll watch out for you while you learn this. Don't freak out if you feel stressed and lucky at the same time this week. It looks like both of them are active. The stress is not a punishment. The good luck isn't just luck. The fifth fact: the gift was never meant to be used by itself. You did the training by yourself, but the release won't be. Soon, people with the same gifts will join you. Someone who can feel your energy before you even finish your first sentence. People who don't make you prove yourself. They are getting ready right now. God is setting them on the right path. He is setting up where we will meet. So, don't give up on making friends just because some groups have hurt you. The right ones are still being made. In fact, they are being built with you in mind. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description, or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Now, before I show you how to stay safe, which I will, God wanted one more thing to be said in this message. And this one changes everything we just talked about. Keep close. What comes next is the part that most chosen people never hear all at once. That's the part that changes this teaching from an idea to clear instructions. Tap the like button a few times before I tell you what to do next, not for me. Another chosen person, who is also stepping into full activation today, but doesn't have the words to describe how they feel, can receive this message. You have no idea how far this message has reached thanks to your gentle tap. Let's move on now. The part of the gift that most people can't live without is what God is about to show them. Understanding isn't the only thing that shows care. Something more than just being careful. A level that goes beyond what you mean. And this is the level where most chosen ones give away their gift. It's not that they're bad. Not because they're silly. Not because they aren't good enough. But because they have never learned how the body deals with a fully awakened deposit. There are real workings going on. The real workings. And God wants you to understand these workings tonight in simple terms. Silence is the first part of these workings. True silence. You can't just shut your mouth when your mind is screaming. The quiet of a peaceful inside world. A lot of the chosen ones think they've learned how to be quiet. What they've really been doing is practicing holding back. Not saying anything is not silence. Not giving in is called suppression. The seed doesn't grow when it's pushed back. It's quiet where the seed grows. You will know the difference between the two as soon as you felt it. Your inner core will become still in silence, and the awakening will begin to speak its own language back to you. A lot of you have never been truly quiet for long enough to hear that language. And today, God wants you to start sitting down. I don't care if it's only 7 minutes. Even if there are only 5. Even if there are only 3 of them. Start. Because the deposit will teach you in that quiet place in a way that no person could. The second part of the workings is breath, specifically a long, slow breath that makes you breathe out more slowly. That lets your body know there is no longer any danger. Your body knows that the gift is safe to use because of that. The people who have been chosen tend to breathe quickly and shallowly, which keeps the body in a low-level state of alarm. And alarm doesn't help seeds grow. God made sure that the seed could grow in peace, trust, and safety. The second tip for today is to remember to slow your breath every so often. In line at the store, before a meeting, while lying in bed, before you check your phone, or as you walk from one room to another in your house. Let your breath out for longer than it comes in. Making that one change will make the soil better for the seed, which is half the job done. What you say to yourself is the third part of how it works. Now more than ever, what you say to yourself when you're by yourself has power. The seed that has been awakened hears everything you say about yourself. It keeps track of it. It responds to it. It changes whether it grows or shrinks. That's why you shouldn't even joke about calling yourself stupid. Even if you're just venting. You can't call yourself broken. It's not okay to put yourself behind schedule, even if you're mad. In the quiet of your own thoughts, God wants you to be aware, and tells you it's okay to talk to yourself gently. Getting rid of what you take in is the fourth part of the workings. The awakened seed is now being fed by what you let your eyes see, and your ears hear. For someone who is fully on, there is no longer any such thing as neutral content. God isn't telling you to be very strict. You need to be smart and pay attention to how you feel after watching or listening to certain things. If your prayer is clouded after certain talks, you need to make changes. Without feeling guilty, just knowing that someone is taking care of something important. The fifth part of the workings is how good your last hour of the day is, the hour or so before you go to sleep. This is when the seed that has been awakened gets its most important instructions for the night. Whatever you feed it in the last hour will be worked on all night. It will be carried by your dreams. Your gut will take it all in. It will get into your body. So, think about what you did during that hour. The gift will more likely follow your evening habits than your morning ones. God wanted you to know that secret before this season is over. These 5 parts of how things work have nothing to do with religion. They're like spiritual physics, the kind of physics that makes sense to everyone who is awake. And you'll notice a difference in the first week. After you start doing them, it will feel better to wake up. There will be a better signal. The energy will be more stable. There will be more of God's voice inside you. It will also feel quieter outside. This is how a gift that has been loved sounds on the inside. This is what God wants you to learn today, because He wants you to live this way for the next 40 years. But it's not enough to just know how it works. There's one more thing you need to know before the safety is complete. For that one thing is the task, why the seed was turned on now. These kids are the reason. Why at this time? God didn't wake you up so that you could have fun, though you will. He didn't wake you up so that you could heal, but you will. He didn't wake you up to meet your own needs, but they will be met. He woke you up because there are people who are suffering quietly right now who are meant to receive your gift and can't wait any longer. It's not your choice what to do, then. You are chosen by the assignment. Everything else in your life starts to change to make room for the assignment once you say yes to it. The task will be clear if something makes you cry when nothing else does. You'll know what the assignment is by what you can't avoid online. It will be clear what you need to do by the type of pain that makes your chest feel open instead of tight. What you can talk about without having to prepare will tell you what the assignment is. You'll know what your job is by the doors that open again and again, even when you stop pushing on them. You'll know what the assignment is by the favor that goes with the work you were almost afraid to start. Pay attention to all of those signs. They are God pointing out the job. They are the seed responding to what it was meant to do. They are the gift that knows its own field. Don't just ignore these signs as accidents. They prove something. That's what they say. Inviting people to come. Let's take a moment to feel something in your mind. God is going to slow down this message. Put your hand on your chest. Put it down there. Keep an eye on what you're carrying. Not the things you have to do that day, the bills, or the people who let you down. Pay attention to the real living thing that's inside the cage of your ribs. God wants you to really feel the weight of the gift, not just act like you do. Just admit that something is there. There is a humming sound. There is something awake. At this level, something is alive that wasn't alive 6 months ago. Hold that position for a while. Let your body know what your mind has been trying to tell it. The deposit is real. There is a real activation. You are in charge of the real frequency. After letting your hand fall slowly, pay attention to the rest of this message. What I say will have a different effect on you now that you've connected with what's inside you. The lessons will no longer feel like lessons from now on. There will be a sense of instructions. What your spirit has been waiting for. And God chose this very moment to give it to you, through these words in this very quiet place, at this very early hour. Take it. Some people are seeing you change into this new version of yourself, but don't know how to describe it yet. There are some of them in your house, some are at work. Some people feel something about you even though they've only seen you online. They're telling the truth. They don't know it yet, but the awakened seed is sending them messages. Be nice to them this season in how they treat you. Some of them will get closer. Some will back off, some will accuse, some will admire, and some will get it wrong. Their reactions don't show the whole picture. Their responses are just the beginning of the message you're sending out into the world. Don't be shocked if old friendships change. Don't be shocked if new relationships pop up out of nowhere. When people you don't know tell you things they've never told anyone else, don't be shocked. Kids will look at you longer than usual, so don't be shocked. Don't be shocked if animals come to stay near you. All of these things happen when the chosen one is fully turned on, and their presence is no longer quiet. Inside you is a seed that shapes the world around you, even if you don't mean to. That's why God is teaching you to plan ahead today so that the mood will help with the assignment, instead of making it worse by accident. Do you want to know, how long will this activation feel so strong? Will it get easier for my body? Will my thoughts change? This is the honest answer God wants you to have. Since your whole system is still getting used to it, the intensity is highest in the first few months after full activation. This level of energy is something your body has never been able to hold before. There will be rough spots. Some days you'll feel like you can't handle anything. There will be times when you want to lower the volume. It's not possible. The switch was turned on and off, but it can be kept steady. You can find out how it works. You can get into the groove. It usually takes between 3 months and a year of regular care for your system to get to a state where it works well. That being said, treat this time with the same respect and patience that an athlete would show during the first few weeks of training with a new coach. Trust that the pain isn't damage but growth. Being tired isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. You are being pushed. The depth of you is growing. You are getting ready. God is happy with you even more than you can understand right now. He doesn't want you to perform. He likes seeing how much better you become. God has been building up to this point in the message since the first sentence. Please calm down, take a seat, and lean in closer. What I'm about to say is the last part of the lesson that will connect heaven and your everyday life. And once it's said, you'll be sealed in your knowledge of what's inside you. It's something you can't forget. It's something you can't take away. You will never be able to forget it. The awakening will be known by a different name, and you will act in line with that name from now on. It's called Steward of the Seed. That's what you are now. Not just someone who believes or has a calling, but someone who has been chosen. You are in charge of a seed that has been turned on. And it's up to the steward to keep what's in their care safe, healthy, guided, multiplied, and released. Today, God is giving you this job. Not as a duty, but as an honor. Not as a weight, but as a unique outfit. Not as a sentence, but as a big job. Not only have you been given a new name, but you have also been given more responsibility, power, and access, which changes everything. Now you'll pray differently, because someone who is in charge of a seed doesn't pray like they are pleading. In his prayers, the steward acts like someone who works for the field's owner. God owns it. The valuable thing is the seed. You are in charge of this place. That means the way you talk to God changes. They become more useful. You will start to hear clear instructions instead of just how you feel. Instead of just comfort, you'll start getting plans. You'll start to understand why you're doing things instead of just what. He will start telling you things that he used to keep from you because he thought you weren't ready for them yet. You'll worship in a different way now. Worship isn't as much about putting on a show. The steward worships the same way they do in public and in private. The steward prays in the kitchen, the shower, and the car. When you worship, you are always aware that the seed is breathing inside you and God is breathing through the seed. That's how you'll give now. A person who takes care of a seed knows that everything they have is a trust. The cash, the time, the effort, the interest, and the favor. So, being kind comes naturally. As a tree gives shade, the steward does their job without being thanked or praised. Giving makes the seed grow in ways that numbers could never do. You'll rest in a different way now. It's clear to the steward that rest is maintenance. The seed can take in what the day has to offer when it has time to rest. That way, you'll keep your sleep safe. You will keep your days off safe. You will turn down invitations that keep you from resting. You will turn down chances that look good, but won't feed the seed. It will also be easier than ever to say no. The way you talk will change now. There are fewer words that mean more to the steward. The long, confusing paragraphs are gone. The empty space gets smaller. It's no longer necessary to win arguments. Your words will stay with people longer than the time you say them. When people need to remember something true, they will think of what you said. God keeps the books. You will change how you move now. As the steward walks, they are aware of what they are carrying. You're not alone anymore. You're just going from room to room. You have something on you. You slow down. There's a reason you go into rooms. Someone who is a steward walks with a sense of honor. The kind that comes from someone who knows they're not alone in their own skin, because God is there and a cloud of witnesses is leaning in. And the task is getting easier with each step. Now I want to go over what I already said. because God wanted these tools to fit in naturally with this message. Not because you have to, but because the season you're entering is heavy, and it's easier to carry heavy things when your body is supported. The first tool comes from the tradition of contemplative sound. It was made by people who keep chant alive, and who built stone rooms that shape sound around the body. This structure wakes up what school had quieted down. A modern listener took a break from the noise of everyday research to hear what the ancient people had brought with them. The sound was found. He made a new version for today's ears. 7-minute song that he called the Genius Song. Hearing aids, close your eyes, every day. Your body never forgot what it was like to be a child when it hears it. How interested, amazed, and happy they were. The ancients kept the gamma frequency safe. While modern tools can measure it, the keepers felt it long before they had tools. The body of a chosen one reacts to it, as if it were coming home. When you find the Genius Song today, you might be able to find an extra audio on the next page. Because of this, the child's mind is kept safe after the first healing. Take it if your spirit says so. If not, the first one is fine. Forget about it. Getting better is the first step. The healing of what was shut up. When the child inside the adult body wakes up. This is what the 7-minute listen is meant to do. As an alternative to prayer. Not to replace the Bible. Not to take the place of your relationship with God. It gives the body what it needs to hold on to the awakening without getting too tired. But healing by itself can only do so much. Waking up the child is one thing. Another thing is letting the child receive. A lot of you will know how this feels. You've already done it. You said a prayer. You skipped meals. You're bigger now. You've become softer. You've become more open. But when the gifts of heaven are put in your hands, you don't know how to open them. Something different is going on in that hand. A power that is stifled by the noise of modern life. People in the past knew it well. They changed the sound. It was written down in 9 words. They kept going with it without stopping for 300 years. Someone listening now got out of the same noise that the first person got out of. This one, though, was looking for a different one. He found that the structure had been kept alive in the Vedic tradition. He made a new version for today's ears. This is what he called the wealth signal. 5 minutes, headphones on, eyes closed, and the 9-word script read aloud every day. What your body does when it hears it is something you never had to learn as a child. That God gives because that's what God does receive. Trust, and be sure. The wise people in the Vedas tuned in to the alpha frequency. We can now measure it with new tools. But wise people knew it before there were tools. And the chosen one's body reacts to it, as if it were finally being told it was okay to receive. Should you get the wealth signal today, you may be given an extra audio boost on the next page. That's how the receiving can go faster after the first opening. Take it if your spirit says so. If not, the first one is fine. Forget about it. The history of these two sounds is very different. The Western tradition of contemplation, that used monastic chanting to protect a child's mind's awareness. And the Vedic tradition, which taught nonstop for 300 years and protected the receiving channel. Two cultures, two continents, two frequencies that have been kept alive, and a healing method that people today had forgotten about. Take on the role of the child, and then get what was promised to the child. That's the order. What these two tools, in that order, do is just hold things that help your body remember what your spirit has known since the seed was buried in you. Today, you can go in 3 different ways. Only healing, the genius song, will begin for some chosen ones. This is because the child inside them must awaken before anything else can happen. That's a well-known path. To begin, some chosen ones will only send the wealth signal. Since their child's mind is already awake and receiving is the next step in their growth. That path isn't common, but it does exist. Most people who have been chosen know that both healings go hand in hand. The whole process, waking up the child's mind and opening up a channel for healing, was planned by God. That is the third way. It's the path that most people who find this teaching take. It's not because it's being pushed the hardest, but because your spirit knows that the steps fit together. Put your hand on your chest and take a deep breath. It's not about how much it costs. This is about the way to go. There are 3 doors in front of you. In heaven, all 3 are praised. The one that is yours is known to your spirit. All 3 can be reached through the link in the first comment and the description. Go through the door that says, You. Don't let your mind change your mind about what your spirit told you to do. And if for any reason any of these doesn't work for you within 90 days, you can get your money back in full and keep all the extra treats. That shows how sure the people who keep these traditions alive are in the work itself. You don't need to give them money. They're giving you the tools. God wants you to be very careful with how you run things. Let's get back to what your spirit came here for. The lesson is still going on. How things work isn't the whole story. You still have to decide who you are going to be when the awakening is over. You still have to go on the long journey of your life from now on. Still, there are the last few words to think about. Now, I want to talk about the last few words, because everything I've said so far has been building up to the ceiling. And the ceiling is what makes the lesson last forever. So get yourself together again. God has loved hearing this talk. He has loved being with you in this room. He loved being heard. It was great to see him. He loved that you didn't scroll down. He was glad you stayed. He is glad you are still here. And he wants you to leave this message not entertained, but with a task to do. Not informed but with a plan to follow. And not just encouraged but praised. All of those are different. God has chosen the deeper one for you today. Please be quieter for a moment. Say the words more slowly. Do not stress your body. Take a break if your eyes need it. Hold your breath longer, because what's coming next isn't for the person on the outside. The next part is for the deep spot where the seed has been growing. Today, God is going to that place to finish what he has been doing. So, make room for him like you would for a king who is finally coming home. Father, where the seed came from, who owns the field, and who keeps the time. Just for a moment, we want to thank you for what you have done. You led this one who was chosen through pressures that were never random. You've made them bigger by losing things that were never an accident. You have made them softer by giving them quiet times that were never times of being left alone. You've trained them through seasons that didn't go to waste. And today you turned on what you planted. We don't think that's funny. We get it. We respect it. Thank you for that. We are now free of the careless words, agreements, friendships, commitments, habits, things we ate, talk to ourselves, and careless agreements. We let go of everything not because we were ashamed, but because we were strong. The part of us that thought the gift was small was let go. The part of us that hid the gift to fit in was let go. We let go of the part of ourselves that used up the gift in places that didn't deserve it. We let go of the part of us that didn't believe in the gift. Even though heaven kept telling us it was real, no longer did we hold on to any doubts about the deposit. We let it go. We let it go back to the dust it came from. We're done with it, and now we know who we are. We are in charge of a seed. We send and receive a frequency. We are working on a project that started before we were born. We are God's children and take care of His property. We are meant to be here at this time. We have everything we need to walk into what has been turned on. We're not behind. We're not behind schedule. We are not ready. Right now, we are exactly where and who we are supposed to be. I give you my word. Today, make sure that what's inside you doesn't come out. I say that the channel will stay open. I promise that the seed will be safe. I promise that the task will be done in the right order, with the right people, in the right rooms, and at the right speed. I promise that you won't get tired. I promise that you won't fall down. I promise that you won't be caught off guard. I declare that there are more and more witnesses around you. I declare that the number of angels sent to the seed is growing. I declare that the wisdom that is needed is being sent to you. I declare that the insight that is needed is getting better. I promise that every careful thing you do will be respected. It will pay off for every quiet act of stewardship. Every time you hold back, it will build up until it's time to let go. What time it is up to God. You only need to be honest about small things every day. You are a special person who is fully on. That's the new truth. You can't go back. Moving forward is all there is. God will be with you through every chapter after this one. He's not going to leave the field. He's not going to leave the gift. He is not going to leave the steward. You are kept. You'll be okay. You have been given a job. You have been sent. One more thing before we end. The Lord is calling someone to your mind right now. Someone you know. Someone who has been silent a lot lately. Someone who has been carrying something they can't name. Someone who seems fine on the outside, but makes you think something else is going on. There is someone who has been hidden for so long that they think being hidden is who they are. Today, God wants this message to get to them. It's not because they agree with every word, but because there is one word in this teaching that was written just for them. You are the only one who knows who they are. This means you should send it to them without any comments, pressure, or explanation. Send it. God will take care of the rest. Following through with what you say could be the answer to a prayer they forgot to say last week. This message may have brought clarity to confusion, peace to chaos, or words to something you've been carrying around without words. If it did, please let your gentle tap of the like button be your amen. Without words. Also, stay close if your spirit feels the energy in this room. More messages are being made for the next parts of your awakening. God is still talking, and you are no longer a stranger to the conversation. It's inside you. You're a part of it. You are adding your voice to it. The seed is open. The flow is going on. The captain is awake. The task is still alive. The next chapter is already being written above your head because God is happy. So, let this message bring you peace. Take care with it. The rest of the night, feel calm like you've heard your dad's voice clearly. And remember that what's inside you is real. You are responsible for what's inside you. You should honor what's inside you. You have what you need to let go of, and that's more than enough for what's next. It's locked up. It's done. Yes. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary, where we discuss the Word daily, and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit Out Community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description, and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary, where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.